Hello everyone. Today I would like to share with you my prediction that the UAE in general and Dubai in particular is going to be the top city in the world where people want to come and live. It's a bold statement, I know, and sounds a bit too optimistic, but I do see it. I mean, I've been living here for 23 years, and I would like to start by saying that this is not a subjective opinion of somebody who lives in a place and everybody thinks his country is the best in the world. I'm not Emirati. I'm a Lebanese national who lives in the UAE, in Dubai, for 23 years, and I consider Dubai home. Not second home, home. It is my home, but it's not my homeland. It's not where I was born or grew up. I did move here. I did choose Dubai as the place where I want to live, work, and raise a family, because from the time I arrived here and through the years, I was realizing more and more that this is the here and now. This is the place where my family deserves to be able for me to give my kids the best chances in life to become the best adult version of themselves. We're going to go through all this. I'm going to explain. This is not a one episode podcast, but what I want to start now is by explaining why I think that Dubai is going to be really this one big city where everybody wants to come and live here. Something similar to maybe what has happened in the past in New York, Los Angeles. In Europe, you have also London, Paris, Madrid. These were like mega cities that everybody wanted to move there at a certain point of time. But now I see a shift from those places and others towards the Arab Gulf in general and the UAE. And then when you say UAE, it's mostly Dubai. The trend has changed. I see really a big change in the last 7-8 years, maybe slightly before COVID, and then after it even accelerated in the reasons and the method how people come to Dubai. It has always been a city and a country of transit, where people used to come here with one small bag and say, okay, I'm going to be here for a few years, make as much money as I can. This is a tax-free country. We're ambitious people. We make money. We save. Then we go back home and make a better life for us than if we have never moved out. So it was really a temporary place, a transit place, I call it. But that's not what we have seen in the last 5 years. Now I can see a lot of people, an influx of people who are coming with their entire family from the start, with all their bags, have closed their home countries, sold their everything, all their assets, and they're moving here. So these people are here to stay on the long term. And I'm not only referring to countries at war where people are fleeing conflict. No. We are seeing people coming from very privileged, very first world countries. We're seeing also all kinds of profiles, from high net worth people to the white collar class to blue collar. Everybody is flocking to Dubai, and there are reasons why this is happening, despite all the negative media and the bad mouthing that Dubai and the UAE get from foreign media, especially Western media. And we're going to have an episode talking about why is that happening, why there's always bad publicity about Dubai from the rest of the world. But that's for another episode. So why is the world so attracted to Dubai right now? There's probably many factors. The single one I can think is the most important, in my opinion, is growth. Economical growth is definitely the obvious growth. The city and the country are prosperous. Economical growth is accelerating, where in many parts of the world they're struggling with their economy. Here it's rising steadily all the time. The politics of the governments, everything is always sound in a way that encourages growth. So that's a very important factor, because happiness comes from the fact that you know today is better than yesterday, and you are comfortable and confident that tomorrow is going to be better than today. This is important for people to feel secure and happy. But it's not everything. It's not all the growth. When I said growth, I meant not only economical growth, I meant also cultural growth. There has been a misconception that the UAE is all about money. People here aren't the best educated, or don't put much emphasis on anything else than making money. 23 years here, I came to the realization that all these misconceptions about this part of the world are so wrong, and this is a hub of intellects, a hub of talented people, this place, and this is what I love most about it. For me, it's the most important part. It's more important than the economic side or the business side. And Dubai is really seeing an evolution in culture, in its love for arts, for education. So people realize that. I mean, sometimes, how is it happening? People come simply on vacation, and they see Dubai in a different way than what it has been portrayed to them in the media or through the stereotypes that are prevailing outside the UAE. And they realize that, okay, it's a place maybe would like to even move here. So there are a lot of people who did that. A lot of people have moved to Dubai following simply a tourist visit. But many more have actually understood that this is where things are happening. This is the city that is growing the most in the world right now in many aspects, and they want for themselves and for their family to be at the heart of the growth. So the growth factor, growth brings happiness, and people want to be in the city where they can be happy. And I don't see any other place that offers the same amount of happiness that the UAE and Dubai can offer. I mean, me and Ira, my wife, we did an exercise. We spent about 10, 12 years of our lives. Every time when we travel, we would travel to a new city, a city that we take from a list of cities that we would like to see as a place for us to retire. Because in the UAE at the time, it wasn't evident if you can stay here after a certain age. This has changed now, and I mean, we have no intentions to move out from here at all. On the contrary, this is home, and this is hopefully home for life. But yes, at a certain period of time, when we started to build our family, we started to go from one country to one country, visiting cities we thought we would consider as the place to retire. And we came to the realization, and it was a good realization, that we already live in the best city. And we don't want to be anywhere else. I mean, we visited so many places that had a hype that, okay, this is the place to live. This is the place where you would like to retire. This is something. And then we always realized no city in the world checks as many boxes as Dubai. It's not perfect. I mean, even till now, I mean, a lot of things have improved drastically in 23 years of me living here. And it's still not perfect, of course. I mean, I'm not idealizing. I don't idealize any place. But it is the city that checks the most boxes. And the most important thing is that the things that don't check, they're going to check next year or the year after. So that's the beauty of Dubai. And it's improving all the time. The list of the great things here is growing. Whereas we can't say the same thing about other places in Europe or in the US or even in some places in Asia. It's the list is shrinking over there. Things are going a bit backwards. So after a decade of looking around for the perfect place to retire, we decided this is it. We want to retire here. So we bought our own home, or we built our own house, and yeah, this is where we want to be. And the whole idea of the channel, the Dubaians, was to share with you and the world our perspective of life in the UAE, how we're raising our kids. I mean, we're a down-to-earth channel. Nothing here is fake. We're just capturing the moments of our kids, what they're doing, how we spend our times, the activities we do. And I do receive regularly comments and messages about, especially from people who are far away from these regions. I mean, the Arabs around us here do know Dubai very well, so that doesn't come as a surprise. But people in Europe, people in the US would kind of say, oh my gosh, you guys, that life you have, it's so modern, it's so progressive, it's so open, it's beautiful over there. And yeah, it strikes me that actually they didn't know that. So yes, when we say Habibi come to Dubai, it's not a cliche. It's really a place that people are attracted to. They're coming. My theory is Dubai maybe is 4 million people today. I think in 20 years it can be 10 million, maybe 15 million. I personally wouldn't like it to become too big. It's going to become less personal, I mean, but the city is so successful, and that's it. I mean, with success, that's what's going to happen, and I'm happy for Dubai. That's going to grow. Now, some of my friends argue with me that a country like the UAE, that is, at the end of the day, generates like 0.2% of the world economy, cannot become the center of the world. At the end, this is really a tiny place. It will always stay like that. I disagree with that, because while I know that in terms of economic power, it's not going to grow much further than that. It's going to grow. It's going to maybe go from 0.2% to 0.5% one day, which is massive. I mean, that's takes centuries for countries to double their GDP, and I think here they're going to do it much faster. But still, it will always remain tiny compared to the big giants around the world. But the impact of a country and the attractiveness of a city is not simply economical. Here, what they're working on is to be a center for innovations, center for cultures. And I mean, look, we have here in the UAE already, the government is talking about Vision 2033, where the integration of AI in the government and the lives of people, adoption of cryptocurrencies. Every single innovation that starts anywhere in the world is adopted here first, accepted by the governments, and they put people and resources to develop them. We're going to be one of the 5-6 countries in the world that are actually working on sending people to Mars. So, I mean, I would like to live in a city that thinks like that. It's progressive. It's looking towards the future. It is not preoccupied with the day-to-day debates of things that just keeps us where we are or just takes us backwards. On the contrary, they're looking into the future, into innovations, science, and that's for me enough. And I can see that there are a lot of people around the world that are attracted to that. And I won't be surprised if the UAE will be in the top 10 most innovative countries in the world in the next 10 years. Because there's such an amount of talent that is moving from the developed world to come live, work, and play in the UAE. It's not just a place for Instagrammer to take a picture with Burj Khalifa and to go fine dining or to go to 7-star hotels. All these are true and all these are there, but that's not everything. People are coming here to develop themselves. And that's what we love about it. And I'm very grateful that me and my family are here to witness this evolution. And yes, as they say, Habibi come to Dubai. So I encourage you all to pick this place a visit. It's gonna surprise you.